I used to walk into a room and hide. I'd have my head down, my shoulders rounded, and I'd just be like, oh, please, nobody see me. Nobody talk to me. I don't have anything good to say. I don't have anything worthwhile to offer. What am I even doing here? My social anxiety fed into so many things in my mind, but I didn't feel like I offered any kind of room, any kind of value, because I couldn't find value within me. I didn't have self esteem. I didn't have confidence. I had a lot of fear. My name is Amber Scales Hernandez, and I can create reality. And today, I walk into a room with my head high, my shoulders back. I scan the room, I meet people's eyes, and I read the energy of people, and I read the energy of the room, and I'm like, how can I make it better? How can I leave this space better than I walked in it? Because you know what? I have that power today. And I don't mean it as power. Ooh, I'm powerful. I mean it as I have that ability today because I feel good inside. I feel I've accepted myself in whole, like all the good, all the bad, all the ugly, all the beautiful, the rare, the unique, the weird, the different. I've just accepted it all. And that's what I have to offer: acceptance, acceptance and authenticity. You will not get anything from me that's not real anymore. I don't have to put on masks. I don't have to pretend. And I try to open that space to the people around me. I have been told one of my gifts is like, I'm just out there. I don't even care. Like, this is who I am. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. We're not all made for everybody. So, but I do know I have the intention now to walk into a room and add value. Why? Because my energy is valuable. I am valuable. And I used to label confidence, like I used to believe confidence meant being successful, never having like any kind of worries, and just having it all together and being good all the time. And then I realized I have grown into my confidence, and confidence for me has been acceptance. It's acceptance. I'm successful because I'm happy. I'm successful because when things go bad and woo, life takes a little dive down, I can handle it. I'm like, I can handle it. It might take me a minute to be like, oh, what am I going to do about this? To ask myself, what am I going to learn from this? What am I going to carry forward? How's it going to help somebody else? Because I've moved through it. Now I get to share about it. So if you want to learn how you can adjust your mindset to build strength and acceptance and roll into your confidence, your self-esteem, and walk into a room with your head high. Oh, the first time I did that, I was like, wow, this is my life today. But it has taken some really big, powerful steps. So today is part one of a video series that I'm going to do about how I had a huge big T trauma come up in my experience about a year ago. And I'm going to share over the course of these series of videos how I healed it without it disrupting my life. So I have a family, I have a wife, I have a teenager, and throughout the past year, I have had anywhere from 2 to 3 jobs. And then my own healing journey and my own healing practices. So I have a busy life. We all do. And finding time to drop in to something so huge that came into my life, a very deep buried repressed memory, was difficult. I've been to counselors and therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists since like I was 15 all the way up until my 40s. And it's like you go every week if you're very lucky. I think it was maybe only 2 years in all that time that I got to actually go every week. But you're talking 50 minutes once a week to drop in to painful experiences, if you really want to heal yourself. And then you have to like be raw and open and oh gosh, what do I do with this for like 6 days? Again, if you're lucky. Like I couldn't afford that most of the time. Most of the time it was every other week or free counseling or counseling through like government insurance programs. Like I didn't have insurance all those years. But it didn't work for me. It did not work for me. It left me so open and raw, and I didn't have the tools to handle the things that we were talking about. So I have had to build up tools and learn to trust myself, build that acceptance and confidence in my decisions, and to just listen to myself, like when I am ready to handle what has been coming up. And then that way it doesn't drown me in my life. I don't lose myself in healing. And I don't have to go digging into my traumas and whatever is coming up and bothering me all the time. Like that's the magic of healing on my own. When I got away from, and I'm not bashing the medical community, please don't take it that way. I have had some very great doctors and therapists and counselors who, once I built up the tools, like I could see what they were trying to teach me. But I needed tools, I needed confidence, and I had to learn to trust myself. So moving away from the medical community and that type of standard healing was better for me, because all those doctors and counselors for those 25 years, like it's like we need a label, we need to give her a diagnosis, throw a prescription at her, but the general consensus those 25 years was this little box that they put me in that said, you are not normal, you are broken, we need to fix you with something somehow. And they never told me that, but that was the general consensus. And I had felt that since I was a child. I was not like other people. I didn't think like other people. I say this in other videos. I didn't feel like other people. I was so different, so different. I feel like I processed things and thought things, and my imagination and just so many things like made me so different. And then I had a mom who really wanted me to fit in, really wanted me to be like everybody else. That just made her comfortable. And I'm not bashing my mom here either. It's just that's the generation she was raised in. Like if your kid is normal and acts like everybody else, then you're a good parent. You can feel good about yourself. Well, I didn't make my mom feel good about herself. Probably not for a really long time, like 40 years or so. But it was really hard to be different, to be rare, to be unique. And now thank God, I've stepped into the fact that I was different for a reason, because I came here to help change the world. And I know that's a big statement, but I'm speaking to you right now, which means I'm changing the world. And if you resonate and you're still watching after everything I've just said, chances are you're here to do the same. And that's not possible until we step into exactly who we are. And sometimes to do that, we have to go backwards. And I had to see what was coming up in my present reality, in my healing, in things that were bothering me. And I'm going to tell a story today about going through this whole entire situation that led up to me finding out about this big T trauma. I'm not going to share about the trauma today. That will be in a couple days when I release the video um, about that. Today's just going to be what led me to it. And mind you, I was not going in to heal anything that I thought was going to be this traumatic. But this today, I'm going to talk about how just listening to myself, trusting steps, and then having the courage to take the next step, even when I was super uncertain. But like listening to my heart and being like, I know this is for me, and then being disappointed when it wasn't easy, and having to move through the discomfort. And just figure things out, because I was running into blocks in my life, and I'm like, why am I feeling blocked? Why am I feeling afraid? Still, when I felt pretty good about things. But I was just feeling this internal fear, and I was like, what the heck is this? So today I'm going to talk about how I moved through that and how it built up to me being ready to deal with a huge traumatic event. And that traumatic event ended up being a very beautiful experience that brought my life very much full circle. I feel like it has healed like an ancestral and generational line, because there were a lot of souls in my soul family involved in this trauma. But it took steps and me being willing to take the next tiny step towards what I was ready for, and giving myself a lot of grace. Do you ever feel blocked in your life? Do you ever feel like, oh, I want to do something, but maybe it never happens, maybe things get in the way, maybe you feel like maybe that's not meant to be because, well, life's just getting in the way. And maybe you have to ask yourself what you can do to get there. What's stopping you? That happened to me. You know, I believe that we carry a lot more wisdom and power than we understand, and we carry a lot more wisdom and power than we know. And I'm starting to step into this wisdom and power, and it's been super amazing. So I'm going to share a story today that's going to lead up to me finding out about this big T trauma, which I'll release in a couple days. I'll attach it to this video when I do, so hopefully you can just click on it if you're interested, if it's something for you. Because I want to share this story, this series of videos, this year-long off and on healing process, because maybe it will help you to uncover something in yourself, in your story, that is going to help you move forward. It's going to help you go, oh, I don't have to deal with these blocks anymore because I'm setting them down. That's what this whole entire series is about, is getting to let things come up naturally, giving myself grace to process them, and giving myself time to digest things that I'm learning, and then to take the next step when I'm ready. And it's changed my entire world. I'm now that girl who gets to walk into a room and be like, what's up, everyone? I have arrived. No, I'm just kidding. But kind of, I'm not, I guess, in a way. I've gotten to that place where I'm like, I'm free. That's what this series is all about. Freedom. Freedom. Freedom to be yourself. Freedom to open yourself up to everything that is out there, because you deserve it. You deserve it. So whatever is inside of your body, because our body holds everything. Sorry, I hit the mic. Our body holds everything. Every answer we need, every dream we have, and every possible way to get there. But you got to trust yourself, and you got to ask yourself questions. So this is what led to me healing a huge thing in my life that I'm so excited to share. I'm a lot nervous to share. But the ending is so beautiful. Like what I gained from tapping into that repressed memory, freedom, wholeness, getting to heal not just myself, but others, and then maybe you. So let's dive in. So I'm going to read this. It's part from my journal, part from I'm going to write a book. I'm writing a book that this will be in, and just from my experiences, from my meditations and stuff. So let's go. I know deep in my bones, I am meant to be a healer. The moment I accidentally stumble across the Awake Academy, an online school for energy healing, this deep knowing overcomes me. It's like an ancient part of me had been waiting for this very moment. I read every word on the website. I listen to the testimonials that sound like songs I somehow already know, and feel my heart grow with every sign confirming what I feel. This is where I am meant to go next. So I do something I rarely do. I let myself be vulnerable. I ask my wife to help me take this step. Not because she isn't supportive, but because this is more than a yes or no. It's a please see me kind of ask. I need her to feel how important this is to me, even though I can't quite explain why. I only know that it matters more than anything else like this has in a long time. She listens, we discuss, and she says yes if we can find a credit card where we can comfortably afford the monthly amount. We agree on a limit. That might not sound like a big deal, but for us, it's huge. My wife is incredibly wise with money. She's disciplined and grounded and a fierce protector of our future. Thanks to her effort and guidance, our family's needs are met and our wants are possible with planning. She's been a wonderful example in so many ways I am deeply grateful for. This investment, it feels like a huge risk, but my heart keeps telling me it's a risk worth taking. Is it though? I don't even know exactly what energy healing is. It doesn't take long for the fear to creep in. The old voices that question my worth, my timing, and my place in this life. They whisper in my ears, quietly, convincingly. Right behind them come the financial blocks. I spend hours researching credit cards, weighing each option. I won't risk a hard inquiry unless the odds look good, unless something about it feels aligned, but the options are slim. I apply for one, and the response is vague. They'll send a letter. I already know what that means. Then I come across another that feels just right. A likely higher starting limit, a monthly minimum that would not tip us into stress. Very promising. I hold my breath. I press submit. Denied. Disappointment hits hard, heavier than expected. My familiar inner critics crawl out of the shadows. See, you're not meant for this. You don't get to want things like this. It's not going to work. But the signs will not stop. The synchronicities show up like little breadcrumbs, keeping me on this path, each reigniting something in my heart. So I tell the divine my usual request, which it always honors, by the way. If this is meant for me, please make a way and make it obvious. So obvious, in fact, there is no possible way I can miss it. And then the answer arrives. Days later, just when I'm about to give up, a credit card offer appears from my own bank. 0% interest for nearly 2 years, and the monthly payment even lower than what we'd agreed on. But the real kicker, the name of the credit card is called Reflect. I take a deep breath. Again, I don't know if I can handle another no, but I know I have to try. I pray, I surrender, and I hit submit again. Approved instantly, and not approved for enough to cover the tuition. It's more than enough. I fall to my knees, overcome. Gratitude floods my body as tears fill my eyes. I know with every cell in my being, I am exactly where I am supposed to be. As I begin the Awake Academy for energy healing, something within me softens. This isn't familiar work, but it feels like home. It's not logical, it's remembered. And yet, things start to shift. In addition to the lessons we complete on our own, the Academy offers a wide range of weekly Zoom sessions. There are practice circles and multiple online communities and breakout rooms for student to student healing practice. Some of the graduates offer personal weekly energy healings included in the tuition. We're encouraged to find partners to work with outside of class to help deepen the learning and hone our skills and discover which modality fits us best. At first, I try. I show up. I want this. But it feels awkward. I start to shrink. I tell myself it's just nerves because everyone is so gifted, so open, so at ease. And they're all very welcoming and understanding what it's like to be new. But the truth is, I feel like an outsider. I begin to compare. I start opting out of the sessions. I tell myself I'll go back later once I feel stronger. I felt so excited. I felt like this was meant to be. Why isn't it coming naturally? I blame everything except the truth. These gifts are just like any other skill. They don't magically appear fully formed. They need to be worked and stretched and strengthened. A bodybuilder doesn't wake up all ripped just because they have good genetics. No, they train. They tear muscle to rebuild it. And they make changes in their life to support the strength they're building. But that never crosses my mind. Even when the doctor, the founder of the academy, says it outright. Instead, I go for the usual suspects. I blame my anxiety. I tell myself I'm not good enough. I pick apart every social insecurity and hold it up like proof. Except this doesn't feel like the usual social discomfort I've learned to live with. This feels heavier. My whole body tightens. My chest sinks in like it's bracing for a hit. I'm not just scared to do the healings, I'm scared to be a healer. And I don't even know why. So I do what I usually do with uncomfortable emotions. I dismiss them. I tell myself I need to heal myself first, anyhow. That's what they say, right? But if I'm brutally honest, especially looking back, I'm lying to myself, dressing up fear in the language of logic. I say, I need more time, more healing, more lessons. But maybe I'm just scared shitless. Maybe I'm running. Maybe I'm hiding. So finally, I decide I need clarity. I have to meditate. I'm guided to an Akashic Records meditation. Before it starts, I invite the divine, Christ energy, and my guides and ancestors in where they reside, in my heart. I ask them to help me see the origin of this fear that will not let me move forward. And what comes is something I never could have prepared for. The images, the emotions, the knowing, they don't just show me another life. They bring this life full circle. My childhood, the nightmares that have haunted me for decades, that relentless, bone deep sense that something terrible happened to me, but no one believed me or could confirm it. I barely had any memories before I was a teenager, and it's really hard to believe someone without the actual memory of an experience. But for the first time in my life, it all clicks into place. And yet it is overwhelming. Like someone dropped a huge bomb in my lap and then walked away. I don't know how to hold this. I don't know how to breathe through the shock, the sorrow, the fury, the familiarity. How do I wrap my mind around something that literally tore me apart? But here it is. The truth with a capital T. I was not crazy. I was not broken. And I was not making up stories for attention. I have been holding the memory, the terror of something I lived, something I buried so deep it took lifetimes to surface. And now I remember. Have you ever been through something like this where you're like, something is meant for you, you know it, and then you step into it and you're like, whoa, and you're disappointed, like, whoa, maybe I was wrong. In that situation, did you give up or did you keep moving? Did you keep trying? Or were you like, I'm going to shut this down. I don't want to do it anymore. I've done both. This energy healing school I'm talking about, there are 32 modules in it. You get like 11 certifications, and then I signed up for 2 other separate ones. So there's a lot of school to learn, and I'm only at module 8 out of 32 plus the other 2, and I stopped after 8. And those 8, those 8 modules healed me so much. I got my podcast out. I got my YouTube channel started, and those 8 modules actually healed more inside of myself than 25 years of Western medicine therapy. And I'm not saying that that's everybody's cup of tea, but for me, this energy healing school was transformative in so many ways. But I did stop. I still do the meditations. I still meet with my practice partner every single week. And now I'm ready, now that I have faced this big T trauma that I'm going to talk about in the next episode. I'm now ready. I am now ready to get back into learning more about healing. And just to give you an idea, I went on a retreat this last week that some of my friends and family gifted to me. It was a 5-day retreat, and for the very first time in my life, actually, I announced I am a healer. I did a group healing, I did a personal healing, energy healings that were very transformative for some of these women, and I stepped into what I was so afraid of, because I uncovered what needed to be uncovered, and I've released the fear through the process of these next videos that I'm going to share. So if you ever felt like you were meant for something, and you either procrastinate, or things come into your, something stops you for whatever reason, you just don't find time, or you don't make time, or you got family things you have to deal with, or life gets in the way, I invite you to consider the possibility that it might not be life getting in the way. It might not be your lack of time. It might be something inside you that is blocking you. And when I dug deeper into that block and uncovered a horrific memory, it was confirmation of something I had felt all my life. And that was so tough because I never got like that confirmation. But getting the confirmation, getting the memory that I had actually gone through something, it was hard. The truth was like a million times harder than just thinking something happened. But it's just like once it's confirmed, you're just like, whoa. It's almost like you can never prepare yourself for like the worst possible case scenario that can happen in your life until it happens. And then you're in it. You're like, there's nothing could have prepared me for this. But somehow I was ready. I had the tools. And if you're watching this video and if you feel called to watch the next video, then that means you have the tools. I got chills. It means you have the tools now to let go and release whatever you're holding. And it may not be some big T trauma. I'm not saying that every time like you get some kind of feeling inside or some block in life that it's going to be this massive thing. But I want you to see if something big comes up, no matter how big or small, it means that you're ready, you're prepared, you have the tools. And I'm going to share some tools with you, which will make you even more prepared. And maybe this will guide you to something that will help give you so much freedom and take away that block. Because all of a sudden, I have found time to do these videos. I had found time to do the podcast, which is all about healing. It's all about mindset and just creating our own reality. We literally create our own reality. That is the movement that I just am just dying to share with the whole world. So if you're ready to dig in, which, like I said, if you're seeing this video, it means that you're ready. Then I invite you to begin. These experiences lead to very big full circle moments in my life. They have helped me accept things in my childhood that I never thought I'd be able to accept. They have given me insight into my stepfather, who had a rough go of it and made our whole family. My childhood was very chaotic. It was very chaotic, and feeling safe was not a thing. I didn't feel safe for a long time, but now that I have dug into all of this, I feel safe. I feel grounded. I feel so secure in myself and free to just be me, to walk in with my head held high and be like, let's do this. So today that I'm releasing this video is the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, which is a Jewish holiday. I was raised Jewish, but I haven't practiced it in a long time. My great grandma, she had a very big part in raising me, and that's going to have some relevance later. But Rosh Hashanah is the head of the year, the head of the new year. It's about celebrating like the creation of humanity and the creation of our world, and also looking forward to the future with anticipation, and then reflecting on the past and what we have learned, and what we need to let go of or forgive or just address. So these videos couldn't be more perfect in their timing. And then I'm going to release the video about the Akashic Records past life meditation video is the next one. And that's where I'm going to talk about the big T trauma, how that came about. And it ends with a beautiful story. So it's not all scary, but there is definitely a warning because it is it's a violent sexual assault that I will be sharing about in some detail. So if that's a trigger for you, you can skip that one and go to the next one and see what I gained from it. And then maybe you'll want to come back and be like, wow, how did this girl get through this stuff? And maybe you want to know what it is. But the last, I'm actually doing the video about that trauma on the 1 year, and I'm releasing it on the 1 year anniversary of when I did that meditation and found that information out. And so part 2 of this series will be released on September 24th, 2025, which is the last day of Rosh Hashanah for the new year. And I can't think of a better way to honor my great grandma, because she's actually a part of that memory, that trauma. So what better day to share the experience with you is the annual anniversary, and then just moving forward with freedom and no blocks, because I am a healer. I get to be a healer today. And I don't have to be afraid anymore of anything or anyone, because I'm just owning it all right now. And then there's a beautiful love story that I'm going to be sharing in some later episodes in this series, about me and my wife. It is so magical and beautiful. It's one of the just beautiful endings that came from this entire experience. I can actually say I'm not grateful that I went through that traumatic experience, but I'm so grateful I have been given the honor of healing it with me and my soul family and my soul tribe. Like, I feel so much honor that I have been given this opportunity, and then to get to share it with you. It's just, that's so important. Purpose for the pain. Purpose for the pain. You're my purpose. So I hope this series gives you the gift of freedom and becoming that change maker in your ancestral line, in your generational line, and for all the people that you touch. Because when we dive into these things, it creates experience, it creates energy, and then we get to help other people that will come into our lives, so we can show them how it's done and how to set down things and to just be free. So you're not only doing this for you, you'll be doing it for your soul tribe. You'll be doing it for the people that are coming into your life in this life. And that's everything. So if I can get to a place where I am grateful to have gotten to remember this traumatic experience because of everything that came afterwards, everything is possible. Everything is possible. You are so strong, and you came here exactly as you are for a purpose, a big purpose. I can't say that enough. You are exactly who you are for a big purpose. And if you don't fit into a mold, I invite you to look around the world. What society deems as normal, is that something that you want to jump into? Or do you want to be grateful that you're different? Food for thought. I'm grateful now. I'm grateful now because I get to share this experience with you, share my life with you, share healing with you, and hopefully something resonates and helps you heal, because then that's going to just spread and change the world. We, especially as rare, unique people, we're here to change the world. You are so important. You are so powerful. And you're magic. You're magic. And I can't wait to hear if you want to drop a comment and tell me how this went. Tell me what you resonated with. Tell me what came to mind as I went through all of this, because I'm really interested. I really want to hear, and I can't wait to respond. I love to respond to comments. And if you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe if you want to hear more content like this, if you want to get updates on me releasing these series of videos, because it's powerful. It is so powerful. And I'm getting excited about sharing it, and being really open and raw and vulnerable. And yeah. So anyhow, but I'm on my own here. So for this information to get to the world that I hope to help, I need you. I need you to share it and subscribe, because you're that important. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great weekend when it arrives. And I send you healing. I send you energy for growth, for courage to step into who you are. Step into who you are, because you're perfect just how you are. All right, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.